Don't emotionally judge. Use data, not feelings. You don't need bigger engagement. You just need bigger visibility. Respond to people. Respond to comments. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Call Her Creator, powered by Stan. If you're a content creator or a business owner or just someone who's trying to build your online influence, today's episode is going to change the way you look at Instagram forever. Because over the past few months, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's a noticeable shift in how Instagram is measuring performance. And one metric is standing out above the rest. And guess what that is? I'm sure you know, it is views. So I recently came across a report, and I've also heard Adam Mosseri say it directly, that Instagram is encouraging creators to track their views more than their likes, more than their comments, more than their shares. And if you've been wondering, does that mean views matter more than engagement? Does views equal money? How do I actually grow my views? You're in the right place. I'm going to break all of this down for us. I'm going to be breaking down what Instagram views actually measure, why Instagram is pushing this metric, what it means for your growth and your income, and then 10 strategies to increase your views starting this week. Now, if you were here last week, you know that we are starting the Reinvention challenge, and I'm going to be coming on here each week to get us in reinvention mode. But I thought that this was really important to touch on this week because a part of the Reinvention challenge is showing up and making yourself visible. And for all of my social media girlies, my Instagram gurus, this is going to be your blueprint. So sit back and relax, go grab a cup of coffee, grab your notebook, and let's get into it. Now, before we get into it, this episode is powered by my friends over at Stan. If you're ready to step into that creator era that you've been talking about and actually make money from your content, from your expertise, then Stan is that tool. It's how I run all of my digital products, my automations, my membership, everything. And you can use my link in the show notes to get your free 14-day trial for your own Stan store and start actually turning your content into cash. All right, let's get into today's episode. So before we get started, I think it's super important to understand what views actually mean. And what I've noticed too is I can have a reel pop off or even a carousel pop off with a lot of views. And sometimes the engagement is not as great as the views. But we have to understand that people are so quick these days on Instagram. They might see your stuff, like it, but just not really engage. And I think that's why Instagram is using views as their most important metric versus engagement. But we'll get into that. This is just my theory. But an Instagram view is any time that your content is seen. So that could be someone watching your reel. That could be someone scrolling past a photo and seeing the photo. That could be a story tap, a profile visit, a carousel swipe. Okay, they're visiting and seeing you. You are being shown. We're making that connection. Views measure visibility. So not necessarily engagement, but that visibility, that reach, that awareness. Which if you're new here or you're new to marketing, that's the very top of the funnel. That is where you make connection with them. And this is where creators get tripped up. They judge content based on their likes or their comments when really views are what's telling us did my content even get seen in the first place? Because people can't like or follow or comment or buy from you if they never see you. So if they're seeing you, you need to mark that as a win. Views are that top of funnel. Engagement is that downstream result. If you only look at your likes, you're measuring the middle of the funnel and not the top. And we need to always be focused on that top of funnel because you want to always be bringing in people to your funnel. Now, don't get me wrong. We still need to nurture that middle of funnel too, but you need to always have something out there that is capturing attention for new people. That's how you grow your audience. But if you only look at your likes, you're measuring the middle of the funnel, not the top. And Instagram very much cares about the top because that's what's going to get people onto their app in the first place. You creating content is what's going to draw people to use their app and become users and become engaged and want to come back every time and time again. So that top of funnel is super duper important. Now, don't get me wrong. Likes, saves, comments, shares, those still matter. Look at your views as the gateway metric, right? So think of it like this. We're looking, imagine a funnel, like it's like an upside down triangle, right? So at the top is views, that's attention. And then after that, attention equals interest. Interest equals engagement. Engagement equals building a relationship. And then what happens next? You have that relationship and you can turn that into a sale. You can't skip the first step of this huge upside down triangle because you're not going to get people down to that sales. You have to make them feel something to want to buy from you. So that very top of funnel is the views where you grab their attention. So when Mastery says track your views, what he means is if something is being seen but not engaged with, you need to fix your hook. What's hooking them in to get that attention? And then if you've got the intention, but there's not any type of engagement, then you need to fix how you are sharing that content. So the goal is not to just get eyes on your content, but eyes that turn followers into fans, into customers. So let me break down for you why views are worth paying attention to. So the first one is the more views you have equals the more audience growth. Every view is someone discovering you, right? So more views equals more awareness equals more potential followers. So views are that number one goal. If you are just getting started in content creation, you want to get as many views as possible. And I've talked about this in previous episodes too. Like when it comes to creating content for myself, for clients, we're usually like, okay, what's our strategy this month? Is it growth or is it nurturing and sales? Because it's two different avenues that you want to do. If it's growth, then you're trying to get as much views as possible. You're sharing more relatable content that reaches the masses. And if it's sales conversions, then you're sharing more content that's a little more deeper, a little more like call to action-y, making them do something, creating some type of FOMO to make them buy from you. So it's very different avenues that you go when it comes to your strategy, depending on what your actual goal is, based on your goals. The second reason why views matter is views lead to more engagement. So people can't comment on what they never see, right? So the more views you get, the more that opens the door for more likes, more comments, more shares. You're giving yourself the opportunity to get seen and to build that engagement. And then views drive brand visibility too. So if you're pitching brands, this matters for you. Brands care about your reach. They care about your audience size. They care about your visibility. A creator with 200 comments, but only 800 views looks a little less scalable than a creator with 120 comments, but 50,000 views, right? So views equal your reach and reach equals that influence that you have. And at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build the influence, build the views to get more people to see your content, interact with it, and turn them into paying customers. Now, whether you want to believe it or not, views indirectly lead to money. They do. Now, it's not like Instagram's going to pay you for views. And I've seen those people that post reels saying, Instagram paid me because I reached so many people, blah, blah, blah. Totally not true. Like there was a point when they were paying bonuses, and they still are, for like, if you get enough views on a carousel or a reel, they'll pay you. Yes. But that's not offered to the masses. For one, you have to be a creator. You have to get approved for that program. And it's not for everyone. They don't just hand out money for views, but it can indirectly lead to money. So like if I'm having a chat with a friend or someone I know and they're like, how do you make money from Instagram? Like, does Instagram pay you? No, not necessarily. I've been paid bonuses before, but you can't count on that as money. What happens is I share about my product or talk about my business, and then that indirectly leads to a sale for me because people see me, they trust me, they buy from me, right? So Instagram, just for the record, doesn't pay for views, but views can lead to brand deals. So like this past month, I had a really cool brand deal with Adobe. We were paid to post about their product, and then there was bonuses included if you reached so many people. Same with, what was another one that I did? ManyChat and Video, all of these brands, they typically will give you like a set amount to post about their thing, and then they'll offer bonuses if you reach a certain amount of views. Now, there are brand deals out there too that will offer you money based on views. I typically don't take those because you never know, first of all, how the algorithm's going to respond or what type of content like they're making you create, because some brands will literally make you post content in their voice, and my followers know like that is not Katelyn's voice. I'm very turned off by this. This is an ad. I'm not going to pay for it. And then what? That doesn't do anything for me. My views end up being less, and then I don't get paid enough for what I posted. Sponsorships, the same with brand deals. You'll get sponsored to post about a certain something. The Reels bonus program, when that first had came out, and this was around like 2021, I did make some good money there. I probably made a couple $1,000s posting Reels and hitting those bonuses, because one, not everybody was posting Reels. Two, they were trying to make me post Reels so that others would post Reels. So I had a better chance there. But again, I think the last bonus program I was in was actually for Threads. But the threshold is like you have to reach like hundreds of thousands of people, sometimes millions, to make that full bonus. So it's not easy to do. It's not just like, oh, you're going to get paid $500 to post this thread. Like that's not how it works. Affiliate sales are another one. Trying to think, oh, there used to be, oh my gosh, I can't remember it now. It was like when I first started, Flipstick. I think it was called Flipstick. And it was this sticky phone holder thing that you could put on the back of your phone, and it would stick to whatever. It would stick to trees, walls, plastic, whatever, so that you could record reels. I actually really loved my Flipstick. I'm pretty sure that's what it was called. They paid a one-time fee, and I think it was honestly like $500. It wasn't a lot. Maybe it was $1,000. And then you'd get paid a percentage of sales that you sold. So if a lot of people ended up buying the Flipstick, of course, I can make a lot of affiliate sales. But if they didn't, then, that wasn't the greatest sponsorship to work with. So affiliate sales are always hard. It really depends how much you put in for you to make money over there. If you see people posting about ManyChat, DM me the word ManyChat and I'll give you a 14-day trial. That's affiliate sales. You sign up for a trial, they're going to make an affiliate amount based on how many people sign up for that free trial. ManyChat's going to pay them. So a lot of different affiliate sales programs out there. There's something called Partner Stack. If you ever want to dip your toes into affiliate marketing, what they do is they partner you or pair you up with different brands that offer different affiliate programs, and you can pick and choose who you want to work with. I'm in there with ManyChat, Later. I work with Later, the scheduling tool, which is where I found a lot of this information, by the way. Shout out to Later's blog. They have some really good information on there. And I've read this blog and I was like, I have to talk about this on the podcast. What else do I do? Printify. Printify was another one. So there's a ton of them out there. And the affiliate amount you make will change based on how much the brand is willing to pay you. And then the last one is digital product sales. So I'll get on and I'll talk about Club Influence, my creator membership, where we send you weekly Reels trends and Canva templates and all that jazz. I will post like every Friday, we do a What's Trending carousel, and we share different trends that are happening on Instagram. And then my call to action at the end of that is join Club Influence, our membership. We'll send you reel prompts just like this. And then if people want to, they'll click on my link and they'll go pay to be inside of our membership. So a couple different ways here that I just listed that you can make money indirectly from your views. But again, no one's just going to pay you for posting. Views are the engine that fuels that monetization though. So you want as many views as possible. At the end of the day, do views equal money? Because this is just where a lot of people misunderstand. But again, Instagram doesn't hand you cash for views. But if you have views and then you're building this audience, you can leverage all of that to create revenue for yourself. More views equals more people discovering you. More discovery equals more followers. More followers equals more trust plus more sales. And then you can think of your views as that top of the money funnel. You need the traffic before you can convert it. All right, so we've talked about what views are, why they're important, why you need them in your strategy, how to monetize them, but how do you get more views? That is the winning golden ticket question, is how can I increase my views? I'm stuck in 200 Reels view jail, or my carousels are only reaching 500 people and I've got a list of 10,000 followers. This is the $100 question. How do you get more views? And I'm going to give you guys 10 different strategies that we use and that a lot of other creators use to help you increase your views. So let's see. The first one in my tried and trusted, this is the reason I created Club Influence actually, and that is creating trend-based content. So trends fast track your visibility. And let me tell you why. Trends usually means that there's an audio trending or there's this trend that everyone's doing. People recognize it. It's fun. It's interesting. So they watch it and that increases your views. So when we learned that trends were really big and that they were helping people get more views, I was like, oh my God, I should do the research for people and send them trends to their inbox so that they're not having to scroll and look for trends on a weekly basis. Because when you're looking for trends, it can be a very boring job. You're literally scrolling Instagram, just doom scrolling over and over on what type of content you can find that's trending. So we do this for you and we send it to you every single Monday so you have timely Reels trends sent straight to your inbox. If you want to join Club Influence, I'm going to link it in the show notes for you guys here. It's $29 a month, super inexpensive. If you break that up, it's less than $1 a day and we're doing the work for you. So you get the trends and then you'll know exactly what to create and post for your brand and get more views. Using trending audios, trending formats, trending conversations, it fast tracks visibility. If you record a reel today using a trending audio, I guarantee you will get more views than your last reel of you just talking or the last reel that you paired with your favorite song. There's just something, the algorithm will favor your content if that audio is trending because it knows that it's popular. So it's going to push it to the top of people's feeds so that when you share it, you get more views. So use trending audio. It works. Next idea for you to increase views is to focus on short form video, focus on reels. Reels are still the number one driver of reach right now. Post more short form content, especially those trends that I was talking about, and then storytelling and talking head videos. So I've started incorporating more talking head videos. I mean, for the past month, I haven't because we've been so busy at the agency and I'm trying to grow the podcast. So it's been a little bit of on the back burner for me. But maybe over the summer, if you scroll down on my reels, you'll see me talking with a microphone. These are really good to nurture your audience and create that connection. And I've actually seen a girl, she started her Instagram like literally this year and she's already surpassed my following and I'm super duper jealous because I've been working on this for years and she's already got like almost probably like 80,000 more followers than me. And it's because she's doing talking head reels. She is looking at the camera, she's explaining things, she's breaking it down, she's dumbing it down, and she's really providing value to people. And I think that says a lot about a brand or a creator when they can actually talk about the subject. That means that they know what they're doing and you can trust them. And you will probably walk away with something super valuable after you watch a talking head video versus you just watching like a relatable trending audio video, right? Like I can only teach you so much with a 7-second trend versus a 30-second video of me being able to talk and explain something to you. So if I could give you one example to like walk away with today from today's podcast episode, it would be to take one concept, one pain point, not several, pick one and teach them something about it in 30 seconds. Keep it sharp, keep it actionable, cut out the ums or the space and just make it very concise into a 30-second reel. So for example here, let's say you're a med spa owner. And, med spas, they offer Botox, they offer filler, they do facials, maybe they do acne too, right? So that's 4 separate subjects there. You're going to pick one of those. So let's just say you're going to pick the Botox one. Okay. So that's your subject is Botox. Now you need to cut that down even further because you can do a lot of things with Botox, right? You can get your crow's feet done. You can get an eyebrow lift. You can get your jawline, whatever you want to do. So let's just pick one. And let's just say, how much will it cost to fix my crow's feet? And then for that reel, you can take 30 seconds explaining to them like, it's going to cost differently for different people, depending how deep your crow's feet are, depending how much crow's feet you have. And you just doing a little explainer video of showing them where you will inject, how much it requires, what even causes crow's feet, like all those things concise into 30 seconds. And what you could do right now is even go into ChatGPT and just be like, hey, I want to create a 30-second video that is concise and actionable to explain to my followers how to use Botox to get rid of crow's feet. and then ChatGPT it'll probably make you a pretty generic script. So what I do is I take that generic script and then I rewrite it in my own voice and kind of make it even more actionable, because there's some things that because you've been doing this for years, that ChatGPT is not going to include in that real script. So make it your own if you really want it to record and be a good video. The more generic you are, the less it is going to work for you, girlfriend. And then also make sure you have a very strong call to action at the end. So maybe it's like, you could tell them to book, you're ready for your next appointment, comment book now. You might even say, ask me anything about crow's feet. And then you're being more specific with a call to action. Like they can actually ask you something about crow's feet instead of being salesy. You're just being more intentional and educational. So that's my example for a talking head and how you can create one to help you get more views. Tip number 3, and this one is so important, and that is to strengthen your hooks on your content, whether that is a carousel or a reel. I was actually going through my content today. I have someone helping me with Call Her Creator content, and she takes my ideas and creates content, and then I go back in and I tweak everything because that's just who I am. I have to touch everything that gets posted on my behalf. So she had something like, this one conversation cost me this. And I was like, okay, that's good, but we need to tweak this a little bit. I went in and I was like, okay, this is good, but how do we make this better? So I was like, this one uncomfortable conversation almost cost me my job. Doesn't that sound way better than this one conversation cost me something? Okay, hold on. I have to pull this up because I want you guys to really understand. Well, I'm not going to have her original, but I'll at least tell you what mine. Oh, here we go. The most uncomfortable conversation I avoided and what it cost me. Doesn't that sound better than the one conversation I avoided and what it cost me? Like, no, this was a very uncomfortable conversation and it almost cost me my career. Like, that is so much better. So you have to get super duper nitty gritty with your hooks. People decide, they say within the first 3 seconds, but I'm gonna push that even more. People decide within the first second and a half if they're going to keep watching or keep scrolling your content. So you really have to go deep on that first hook that you have. And, some good hooks that could help you. One is negative hooks. So if you take a good idea and then you spin it, ChatGPT to spin it in a more negative way, there is some psychology around negative hooks that really, really work and make people want to read it because they want to avoid that negative, whatever happens at the end. So that could be something like, this one mistake is costing you XYZ, or most people get this wrong. So those are like super negative, right? Some other ideas to help strengthen your hooks that are like more positive is like, think about one goal that they want to achieve. And then your hook starts with, if I had to start from 0 today to become XYZ, here's what I'd do. So you're telling them how to get that goal starting from 0, because a lot of people are starting from 0. So those are some good stealable hooks. If you go to my Instagram, the Katelyn Rhoades, and you comment hooks on any of my posts, I just put out a Google document that has really spicy hooks, because I think that spicy negative hooks are what are really going to help you with your views. So you can go comment that and get that free list. I'll send you over a Google document and you can steal any of those hooks and try them out and let me know how they work. Next tip here is to encourage your people to share the content. And it can sound really cringy if you're like, please share this. Like, there's other ways to ask people to reshare. But when you ask them to do something, there's something in their brains that like, yeah, girl, I got you. Let me share this for you. I actually did this the other day when I was posting about my reinvention. Sorry, Lucas. I actually did this the other day when I was posting my reinvention challenge. And I had put the reinvention challenge carousel together on the Call Her Creator account. And then at the end of my caption, I said, hey, if this isn't for you, that's cool, but reshare it for a friend who needs to hear this. And I actually got some reshares from that. So when you get your content shared, it gets exponential amounts of distribution. It not only reaches your audience, but it reaches their audience too. So especially if someone with a bigger following than you reshares your content, oh, chef's kiss, you are getting way more reach, way more views. That's all we need, right? To grow our accounts. So I always tell myself, I tell my clients, I tell my social media managers here at the agency, would someone send this piece of content to a friend? And if they're like, no, they probably wouldn't. Then I'm like, okay, rework the content because you need them to repost it. So if the answer is yes, post it. If not, refine your messaging. And again, that's where we can always pull in our ChatGPT buddy and be like, hey, here's my concept. Here's the hook I have, but I want to refine this for more shares. And ChatGPT will go in there and totally change it around. I'm actually going to take this, the most uncomfortable conversation I avoided. I'm going to ask ChatGPT right now to rewrite this hook for more shares to make it more shareable. Okay, I'm going to paste it. Okay, so original hook is the most uncomfortable conversation I avoided and what it cost me. All right, here are more shareable, punchier versions. I hate when he says punchier. Like, I didn't ask for punchier. Ooh, the uncomfortable conversation I avoided and the silent price I paid for it. That's definitely like FOMO. Like, oh, what did she do? What happened? I avoided the hard conversation thinking it protected me, but it actually cost me this. I like that. The conversation I avoided, the fallout I didn't expect, and the clarity I gained. I kind of like that. The conversation I avoided until avoiding it hurt more than having it. That one's a tongue twister. I don't really like that one. So, I mean, chat's going to give you some good ones. They're going to give you some bad ones. You can always take a few and be like, I really like this. Can we go deeper on this? Can you give me more examples and see what he gives you? Sometimes you're going to get a winner. Sometimes you're not. Truly, it's going to come from how you are feeling after reading it. Like, you need to put your own spin on things for it to really work for you and for your audience to really relate to it. Because at the end of the day, they're going to know too. If they're already following you, they're going to know if it's your voice or not. But if they're not, like, don't you want to relate with them on the most non-surface level possible? And the only way you're going to do that is to dig deeper with your hooks. Okay, collaborations with other creators. So this is too, like, this kind of plays off of the getting people to share your content for you. So your content in front of their audience equals multiplied visibility. I love collabs. Sometimes they're hard to create because you have to use your brain power and think of something. And then you got to think about who you'd want to collab with. I'm going to Chicago tomorrow for a speaking engagement. And there's another creator that's going to be there that I admire and I'm interested to get to know. So I actually shot her over a DM this morning and I was like, hey, we should do this collab. It's like, I don't know if y'all have seen that one where it's Tate McRae and it's like, here for the night. Na, 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 na. Just keep watching. But what they're doing is they're like, do you want to grab a margarita? And the other person's saying yes. And they're like getting on a plane and flying and then they end up in Cabo or something. I thought it'd be cool for us to like start at home. I'm, in Florida going to Chicago. I'll be in my office. Then I'll be in my airplane. Then I'll be at the hotel. And then we could meet up and cheers our wine or something. So that's someone I want to collaborate with. I have more followers, so I would like to be the one to post the original collab and then add her as a collaborator. They say to post whoever has the biggest account to post first and get a little bit of traction and then let the other person accept the collaboration and get even more traction. So hopefully we get to do this if she says yes. I did send her a DM, so I'll let you guys know if I get it or if I totally got turned down. Some other ideas here: joint reels, guest takeover. Maybe somebody takes over a reel on your page. Maybe they take over your stories. Maybe you do a collaborative carousel. I love those. Those are easy to do because one person can make it. Whoever you're trying to collab with, like, the best shot for you, if you're really good at content creation, is to create it and say, hey, can we collab on this? I'll add your face. I'll add your input, blah, blah, blah. You do the work, you post it since you're the one asking. Split screen commentary. This could be like even a live too, like collaborating on lives. I only used to do more of those in the beginning of my growth journey. And I really wish I had time and wanted to do them more because they actually really help you reach more people. But if you have, 30 minutes once a week to go live with someone that has like a following that's similar to yours or even bigger than yours, it would be really nice to go live once a week and get acquainted with their audience, get in front of their audience, and that's going to get you more views too. Number 6. This one's stupid. You're going to be like, this is so stupid, Katelyn, I know, but I'm going to talk a little bit about it. And that is consistency, posting consistently. Not daily, but just regularly. Like, don't post and then ghost for a month. You have to post regularly, even if it's just twice a week. At least you're posting regularly. The algorithm favors accounts that show up and use their app. So pick 3 days per week, bro. quick 3 days, commit to it, post to it. If you need help with this, I do have a free 30-day posting calendar. I think you can go to my Instagram and just comment 30 on any post and it will send you a DM to the 30-day calendar. Get that 30-day calendar. Pick 3 posts a week and commit for the next 30 days to post 3 days a week and watch your reach increase. Can guarantee it. If you are not posting 3 days a week now and you decide to post 3 days a week, I can guarantee you are going to reach more people. Your views are going to increase and you might even see increase in engagement too because you're posting more consistently. So that is one that we don't want to sleep on. Stories. Now, stories are for audiences that are already following you typically, but keep in mind, like if someone is just now seeing your Instagram and they're popping over to your page and they're seeing it for the first time and your stories is lit up, hey, that's a new follower potentially if they see your stories and like what you're posting. So stories create connection. Connection fuels your views. You can, comment more personal stuff, add the poll sticker there, make them answer polls. If they're clicking on engagement stickers, that is alerting the algorithm that they are engaging with your story. That's only going to help you. So using poll stickers are good. Using the questions box. If you could do Ask Me Anything once a week, that would be a really great way to increase your connections and nurture your audience to get yourself more views as well. If you have tried the questions box and no one replies to you, then here's what you're going to do. You are going to post that questions box today, and then you are going to text your significant other, your mom or your dad or both, your aunt or your uncle, your cousin, and 2 best friends. And you're going to say, hey, go ask me a question and link them to your profile so they can literally just click on your profile and click your story and let them go ask you a question. You fake it till you make it, baby. I had the earlier days where I was asking my family to ask me questions and they would make sure that it was related to my business. They weren't, my husband sometimes will be silly and post inappropriate questions in there, but most of the time it's content that's related to my business. And that's what's going to help you grow. That's what's going to help you build authority with people. They're going to trust you. So get your people on board and go post on questions. Go post the question sticker and get some questions in there. That's going to help you also to post more stories because each question you get, you post a story and answer it. So love that idea. Number 8, respond to people, respond to comments, because every time you respond to a comment, if they click on that to go back to read it, that's them going back to your relationship. And Instagram boosts content with active discussion. So even if it's negative comments, comment back, start a conversation, start a dialogue. We really want positive conversations, honestly, but if I ever have trolls posting like on viral content of mine, I'm like, yes, thank you for the engagement. But if you could just carve out 10 to 15 minutes, either before you post or after you post, or just a couple days a week, like 3 times a week, you're going to go in and you're going to reply to comments, or maybe you just go into the newsfeed and you comment on other people's things, whatever it is, build that conversation, reply to stories. That's another one. Anything that's getting you typing and starting conversations with people is going to help your account. So set aside 10 minutes for that, 10 to 15 minutes, three-ish times a week. Number 9, post when your audience is online. I personally use Metrical to see when my people are online because the demographics and the time to post is different for myself and my clients. When I go to my insights on Instagram, it says that my best time to post is the same as Joe Schmo and client A, client B, client C. So I just don't trust Instagram's best time to post. So I will get on Metrical. Metrical is free, I believe, if you have like just one account. We have several for the agency, so we have to pay for Metrical, but it is a very good tool to have if you are an agency owner. I highly recommend it. I go between Metrical and Later. I like both. Later also has the ability to show you what time of day your people are on. If that's too much for you, if you don't really understand all that stuff, then just be realistic with yourself. Who is it that you're trying to talk to? When would they be online? Is it early mornings? Is it at lunchtime when they get a lunch break? Is it in the afternoons? Is it at nighttime before they go to bed? Like, this is where buyers' personas really come into play, and I preach them all the time. Find out who you are talking to. This is a big part of social media school, my social media course. If you have not taken it, you absolutely should. It's linked in my Stand store. Buyer's persona really break down who your person is that you want to talk to and market to and sell to. And that will allow you to understand their behaviors on social media so that you can post at the right times. And then number 10, this is probably one of the most important parts of increasing your views, and that is to analyze your data. Don't emotionally judge. Use data, not feelings. Which post actually got the most reach within the last 30 days? Go in your insights. I will say your professional dashboard has very good analytics when it comes to that stuff. Which one got you the most followers? You can look at that. You can filter your content based off the most followers in a set amount of days or months. You can also see if, look at your top performers, the one that got the most reach, the top 3 to 6. Was there a certain subject you're talking about? Do we see a pattern there? Was it a talking head video? Are they all talking head videos? Are they all trends? Find out what the patterns are and then lean into that. You have to repeat what works ruthlessly over and over again. Do not worry about what others are going to say. Don't be worried that you're just, oh, I sound like a broken record. No, you don't. Half the people that are following you don't even see your content in the first place. So you have to post about it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So looking at your data and actually analyzing it is what's going to help you make better decisions for your content. All right, so just to reiterate, top 10 ways to get more views. 1 was create trend-based content. If you don't have time to scroll for trends, you can join Club Influence. It's linked in the show notes, and we will send you 3 to 4 trends every single Monday for you to record for the week. Number 2, focus on short form video. Post more reels. Test out talking head reels. Test out storytelling reels. Keep them around 30 seconds. Number 3, do better on your hooks. You've only got a second and a half to hook people in. They cannot be generic. They cannot be a easy to spot ChatGPT prompt. They need to be from you and your heart. Number 4, encourage your followers to share your content. Be very specific with your calls to action at the end of your captions, at the end of your content. Tell them what to do next. Number 5, collaborate with other creators in your niche, not in your niche, whatever makes sense for your content. Number 6, post regularly, consistently. This does not mean every day. This just means over and over again to where the algorithm gets used to you having a consistent schedule. Number 7, treat your stories like a relationship warm-up. Talk in there, show up, use the engagement stickers. Number 8, respond to comments, reply to stories, comment on people's content in your newsfeed, make conversations. Number 9, post when your audience is most active. Think smart right there. It doesn't have to be data driven that you see. It can just be you using your brain, your noggin. When are my people online? And number 10 is to analyze, don't emotionally judge. Views are not a vanity metric. They are a gateway metric. Views tell us how wide the door is. Engagement tells us who walked through that door. And then revenue tells us who actually stayed. I love that analogy. If you take one thing away from today's episode, it's this. You don't need bigger engagement. You just need bigger visibility, because that in itself is going to lead to more engagement. More visibility leads to more opportunity for you. So this week, I challenge you to try at least 3 of these strategies that we talked about today. I gave you 10. So pick 3 of those and you are going to run with it this week. And you're going to report to me at the end of the week. Send me a DM. Let me know, hey, I listened to your strategies on views. Here's what I chose. Here's what worked. Here's what happened. Let me know. Reply back to me. And if you liked today's episode, if it resonated with you, if it helped you, please share it with another creator friend who needs to hear it. As always, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for showing up. And I'll catch you inside this week's weekly scroll coming up on Thursday. There's some really good updates that are coming along. And if you liked today's episode, please leave me a review on Apple or Spotify. Love you so much. Mwah.